That phone call you answered an hour ago, the one from the strange number, you probably answered with a polite, simple yes when they asked if they had the right person. It's a reflex, something you do without thinking, but that one word, that automatic response we've all been taught to use, has been turned into a weapon. And the people using it are hoping you'll keep being polite, keep being helpful, and keep answering their questions without knowing the danger you're in. It's a trap that's sprung the moment you open your mouth. This specific threat has a name. I call it the yes trap. And it's designed to exploit your good nature in a way that's shockingly clever. The danger isn't what happens in the conversation that follows, because there isn't one. The danger is in that one single word, recorded and stolen in an instant. By the end of this, you're not just going to understand this threat. You're going to have a simple, powerful shield that makes it impossible for them to use your own voice against you ever again. Let's walk through how it works. You get a call from a number that looks like it's from your area code, a technique called caller ID spoofing. When you answer, there might be a moment of silence. Then a voice, often computer-generated, asks a simple question. Can you hear me? Or is this your name? Your natural instinct is to confirm. You say yes, and then the line clicks and goes dead. You probably assume it was just a telemarketer with a bad connection or a wrong number. You hang up and forget about it, but the scam isn't over. It just succeeded. See, here's the part that most people never realize. That call wasn't an attempt to sell you something or to trick you into giving up your financial information. It was a harvesting operation. They weren't after your money on that call. They were after your voice. And when you said yes, a computer on the other end captured a clean, clear audio sample of you saying that word. That silence on the line wasn't a bad connection. That was their computer capturing your voice. That was the moment the trap was set. Now they have it. A perfect digital recording of you saying yes. It's called a voice signature, and that signature is a key. They can now use that recording to authorize fraudulent charges in your name. Think about how many companies, your bank, your cable provider, your utility company, now use automated systems where you can authorize a payment or a change to your account by saying yes. They're using voice biometrics for security, and scammers have learned how to defeat it by using your own voice, stolen from you just minutes before. Your own word becomes the proof they need. And this isn't some small-time operation. These are sophisticated criminal enterprises using automated dialing systems to call thousands of numbers every single hour. They are phishing, waiting for someone polite to answer and give them the one word they need. It's an industrial-scale system designed for one purpose, to turn your habit of being helpful into their profit. Let's make this real. Let me tell you about Barbara. She's a 72-year-old retired teacher from Florida. One afternoon, while she was out in her garden, her phone rang. The number looked local, so she answered. After a brief pause, a voice asked, "Is this Barbara?" Without thinking twice, she replied with a clear, friendly, "Yes," and then the line went dead immediately. She was annoyed, but she just dismissed it as yet another nuisance call and went back to her gardening, completely unaware that she had just been robbed. 2 weeks went by. Barbara was going over her cable bill when she saw a charge for $409.99. It was for a premium sports and movie package she had never ordered and would never watch. She called the cable company, confident it was a simple mistake they could fix. The customer service agent was sympathetic, but then they told her the charge was authorized. Barbara insisted she never did that. And then the agent said, "Ma'am, we have a voice recording of the authorization." And they played it for her. Over the phone, she heard her own voice. It was crystal clear, saying that one single word, yes. They had her. The scammers had taken her polite response from that strange call 2 weeks earlier, and they had used it to sign her up for a service she didn't want. Barbara is a smart, careful person. She was just defeated by a weapon she didn't even know existed. And her story is happening to thousands of people every single week. This isn't just a few unfortunate stories like Barbara's. According to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, their 2023 report showed that American seniors lost over $3.4 billion to fraud. That number is staggering, and it's growing. This very scam, this weaponization of the word yes, is a quiet but devastatingly effective tool that contributes to that massive loss. It's an assembly line for fraud, and it's specifically designed to prey on the generation that was taught to always be polite on the telephone. And the threat is constantly evolving. As more companies adopt voice biometrics as a form of security, thinking it's a foolproof way to identify you, the value of your stolen voice signature only goes up. Scammers are now creating hybrid attacks. They'll buy your name and address from data breaches online and then combine that information with your stolen yes to sound even more legitimate when they're impersonating you. They aren't just stealing a word anymore, they are stealing your vocal identity. It can feel hopeless, like the technology is always one step ahead. It feels like just answering the phone has become a dangerous act. But it's not. You just need a new set of rules for this new world. So how do you stop a machine that's designed to turn your own voice into a weapon against you? You do it by learning one simple rule that breaks their entire system. Here is your primary shield. It's called the no-yes rule. And it's simple to remember and devastatingly effective. From this moment on, you will never answer a direct question from an unknown caller with the word yes. Not ever. It doesn't matter if the question seems innocent. Can you hear me? Is this Mary? Are you the homeowner? The answer is never yes. This one simple discipline is a complete defense against this entire attack. It's a shield that makes you invisible to them. Here's exactly why it works mechanically. The entire scam hinges on getting a clean, isolated recording of your voice saying yes. That is the only goal of their initial call. Without that specific audio clip, they have nothing. Their machine is useless. So when you follow the no-yes rule, you deny them the one piece of raw material they need to build their weapon. You have effectively broken their assembly line at the very first step. The scam stops before it even begins. So let's build out the full protocol. It's a simple 4-step defense. First, you learn to datapuesto. Identify the bait. Recognize that any question from a number you don't know that is designed to get a yes answer is a potential trap. Step 2. Use a safe phrase. Instead of saying yes, you respond with a non-committal phrase that can't be weaponized. If they ask, "Can you hear me?" you respond with, "I can hear you just fine." If they ask, "Is this Barbara?" you say, "You have the right number." You've confirmed you're on the line, but you haven't given them their prize. Step 3. You immediately turn the tables. After you give your safe response, you take control of the conversation by asking your own question back. Who is calling? Or what is this regarding? This breaks their script. They are prepared for a passive, cooperative target, not for someone who immediately takes control. And finally, step 4, which is the most powerful of all. The voicemail shield. If you do not recognize the number, the safest action is no action. Let the call go to voicemail. A legitimate caller will always leave a message. Scammers won't. I know what some of you might be thinking right now. It feels rude. Not answering a simple question directly goes against everything we were taught about being polite and cooperative. You need to understand this with absolute clarity. They are counting on that. Your politeness is the vulnerability they are targeting. You are not having a conversation with a person. You are interacting with a system. Protecting yourself isn't rude. It is the only sensible and intelligent response to a direct threat. But what if you're watching this and you have that sinking feeling in your stomach? What if you realize you've already done it? Maybe it was last week, or even just this morning. You answered yes to a strange caller, and the line went dead. The first thing I want you to do is take a deep breath. You are not at fault. Let me say that again. You are not to blame. You were targeted by sophisticated professional manipulators. Being targeted is not a reflection of your intelligence or your judgment. In fact, it's the opposite. It means you are exactly the kind of trustworthy, decent, and cooperative person these systems are designed to find and exploit. They chose you because they knew you'd likely be polite. The fact that they targeted you confirms that you are a good person. It's a reflection of their criminal skill, not a failure on your part. So let's turn that worry into action. Here's your 3-step recovery plan for the next 24 hours. 1. Immediately review your bank, credit card, and all major utility accounts online. Look for any unauthorized charges or changes, no matter how small. 2. Contact any provider that uses voice authentication and ask to add a secondary verbal PIN or a password to your account. This adds a layer of protection they can't bypass. 3. File a free, simple report with the Federal Trade Commission at their official site, reportfraud.ftc.gov. It takes 5 minutes and helps authorities track and stop these operations. You just took your power back. You have this knowledge now. You have the shield. But for a moment, think about who in your life doesn't. Who do you love that answers every single call with a friendly, trusting hello without a moment's hesitation? Is it a parent, a grandparent who lives alone? Maybe it's a neighbor or a close friend who is just unfailingly polite to every person they speak to. Picture them in their home, the phone ringing from an unknown number, and them answering with a cheerful, "Yes?" They are vulnerable, and they don't even know it. Please, if a specific person came to mind just now, take a moment and share this with them. This isn't about supporting a channel. It's a simple act of protection for someone you care about. It's a quiet conversation that can give them a shield they didn't know they needed, and it could save them from a world of financial pain and emotional distress. Looking out for each other is the best defense we have.